incredible evening. I really need to. I've been so busy. I have not been able to do a new file. And we're now, this was like, whoa, August. So all of September, October, we're now in November, and I haven't changed this file. OMG. But it's okay. Hello, 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 everyone. How are you guys doing today? All right, we're going to do a little Q&A today. Hopefully you guys have a lot of questions. I will say I need a little bit of a pick-me-up right now. Not too happy with the fact that I've lost access to my Silverholics Anonymous page, so I can't go live on there. So until that's rectified, there will be none. So hopefully those who normally follow me over there are also on my YouTube channel, also are friends with me on Facebook. I am posting it in my groups. I'm going to share it in my group. But yeah, I can't go live from Silverholics Anonymous for a while until they rectify this issue. So it's okay. As I said, social media is a resource, not the source. Luckily, I have a very extensive email list, which I'm actually going to probably send that email out tomorrow. Today, I just don't want to think about it. So I'll probably send the email out tomorrow that there's something wrong with the page, and to make sure that you guys follow me on all the other platforms. That way you guys don't miss any live videos or anything like that. Yeah, I have it on my screen. My camera is, I move some things around, so I don't really, it's not really in the right position. So there's no video of me today, but doesn't matter. I can still answer your questions. All right. I'm just trying to find this so that I can share it out. All right. Just give me one moment to get this shared out. Oh, dang it. I just messed up. Dang it, I just messed up. All right, hold on one second. All right, y'all, just give me one moment. I have to go and copy something, which I don't think I did it there. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Just give me a moment. Okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for. All right. I'm just trying to share the video out. If most people did not like follow or sent a friend request to Shaquille Lavelle, I did it again. It probably doesn't show up. For most people, they probably won't get the notification. So I'm going to just share it out. I did it again. I keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. I keep wanting to share it, but I keep hitting copy link. More options is what I want. Share to a group. All right, one more place. All right, there we go. So we are all shared out. If I can get you guys just to make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, be sure to comment. Just let me know where you are watching from. And if it's your first time watching me live, excuse me. All right. So not gonna let it get me down, or should I say keep me down. I was a little upset. Worked hard, worked very, 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 very hard on my Silverholics Anonymous platform on Facebook for many years. Major accomplishments, on there with being, completely and fully monetized and having so many followers and view hours. To know that that might, depending on how they rule, that might be taken away is, oh wow, it's a little heartbreaking, but it's okay. All right. Um, Hello, first timer. How are you? I definitely needed that smile. I thank you so very much for that, Miss Cheryl. I definitely needed that smile because that news that I am restricted from going live and doing anything from my business account, my Silverholics Anonymous account, really, really, really stung. So thank you. But anywho, we're still going to keep it moving, keep it rolling, and I'm still going to do a Q&A. I'm still here to help. And that's what we're going to do today. So if you guys have any questions in regards to Silhouette Studio and using it as a graphic designing software, or just, any questions, if you have machines and you're having issues with cuts and things like that, feel free to go ahead and post those questions. If you do have questions about sublimation or printers, I'll have to direct you, just talking through the screen because the camera isn't on. I went through this whole thing of trying to clean up and move stuff around, and my camera is just not um, set up correctly right now. So everything is going to be on the computer. So if you can try and keep your questions related to things I can show you on the computer, that would be absolutely amazing. But the floor is yours. So guys, come on, help your girl out because I'm a little down. So hopefully we have some active participants who are going to be engaged and you guys have questions for me. Hello from Virginia. This is your first time watching. Hopefully it will not be your last. I'm not sure which channel because it doesn't tell me which platform you guys are watching from. I just see a YouTube icon. So I'm not sure if you're watching from Silverholics Anonymous or Honestly Speaking's YouTube channel. But if you can just let me know which one. But welcome, welcome. Depending on which one you're on, Silverholics Anonymous is all about teaching you how to use Silhouette Studio. And then Honestly Speaking is in conjunction with our amazing product line, our branded products, Sublimation paper, Sublimation ink, pigment ink. And that's where you can find all of the demos and different discussions like that, okay? Yes, I know I'm streaming right now to 2 YouTube channels. I have 2. I have Silverholics Anonymous and I have Honestly Speaking. They're both YouTube channels and I'm streaming to both right now. So I don't know which channel you're on. Same thing here. But I thank you guys for watching. And incredible evening, incredible evening, incredible evening, incredible evening. Thank you for watching from Birmingham, Alabama, Macon, Georgia. Incredible evening. Hello from Nashville. All right. Oh, so you're on the Silverholics Anonymous channel. Awesome. Do you have a Silhouette Cameo or do you just use the Silhouette Studio software for the design aspect of it? Are you using it or are you if you are want to use it for design element, are you brand new to Silhouette Studio? Exactly. All it takes is one person, correct? Hey, just say. Hey, just say. So you do have a Cameo 3. Awesome. How proficient are you with Silhouette Studio? And do you have any questions for me today? No one has now one question about how to do something in Silhouette Studio. I don't really do guided lessons. I mean, unless it's like something particular, like I did one this like earlier today about sizing. But when I do the Q&As, it's all on you guys. So, however, how informative this live will be depends on you guys as the audience and how much you guys are engaged and interactive. You have a Cameo 4. Do you have the regular 12-inch, the plus, or um the pro? All right, I have an ink question. I have an EcoTank. I'm not converting. What's the difference in the ink that came with it in Pigment Ink? So the ink that comes with EcoTanks are dye-based inks. They are different in color. So dye-based and pigment inks are different. They serve different. Dye inks has a wider color gamut. You can really get some of those like neon colors, and it just offers more colors when you're using dye ink based off of how it mixes ink. Pigment ink is great, but it is limited in the range of colors that it can get. But for me, I prefer pigment ink because of the water resistant properties. So because I was doing things like invitations or water bottle labels or even just like posters and banners and things like that, if it gets wet, it doesn't run. When you have a dye-based printer, that's just like old school. Think about like when you type something up, you printed it out. If it gets wet, everything runs and you lose all of that information. Or like, you can't read the words and stuff that's on there. Well, pigment ink, that doesn't happen. It is water resistant. Now, it's not really interchangeable. Can you put pigment ink in that printer? Yes, but you're not going to get accurate colors because it's meant to use dye-based ink, which is an ink that's like all the colors are very, very dark. They don't look like the color that it's gonna produce. They're all very dark. The yellow looks like yellow food coloring, has like an orange tint to it. The magenta, if you tilt it, you can kind of see the pink. But if you're just looking at it straight on, it looks like a really, really dark color. So the way it mixes dye inks, it's going to still try and do that, but you have now pigment ink. So your colors will be off. You're not going to get accurate colors if you put pigment ink in an EcoTank printer that came with dye ink in the box. There we go. You did a really great job yesterday with scan and cut. Do you mean print and cut? And really would like to do more. Do you mean the print and cut? What do you have any specific questions about print and cut? You got the 12-inch? Okay. How do you do an external outline shadow to where it's not showing the color of the shirt in between the two colors? I hope, okay, wait. How do you do an external outline shadow to where it's not showing the color of the shirt in to where it's not showing? So, I mean, okay, wait. All right, we're just going to put a box here to where this represents a shirt. I'm just going to let's just make it an orange shirt. So into the back, and then this is our star, right? So this will be your design. If you just do an offset, you're able to fill that in with color, and it's just solid behind it. So I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to. You just put an offset if that is what you're asking. So this icon right here is your offset panel, and you can make that offset as big or as small as you want it to be. And you can do as many offsets as you want. Okay, so yeah, print and cut. Do you have any specific questions about it? Okay, but when I press it, I can see all right. So what you did was you knocked out the bulk. So if you don't want the shirt color to come through, you're not going to subtract. You're going to put the entire thing, solid background, and then you're going to layer this on top. If you did it where you subtract all, or it's a couple different ways that you could have done this, to where this is actually an outline and you put this here, because vinyl shrinks, you're going to see the shirt. So if you are wanting it to where both pieces are touching the shirt, there's really no way to avoid it. You can try and minimize it by only pressing your first layer for about 3 seconds, just so that it can tack down. And then put the next layer, press it for 3 seconds, take the carrier sheet off, and then press it for the full dwell time. Now, to do with this method, it is very important that you are using a HTV that is a hot peel, and that will kind of stick down in just 2 seconds. Not all vinyls do that. So if you're using a certain vinyl and it's a cold peel, or it doesn't stick just after a 2-second tack, then you won't be able to do it. I use Caesar and I do it all the time, but because vinyl shrinks, there is always going to be that chance that you're going to see little peekaboos of your shirt unless you leave it completely solid. So with this one, I would release compound path and then weld it so that it's one solid piece. And then this is going to go on top. So the black would touch the shirt, the pink would touch the black and not the shirt. All right, if you guys are just joining, I am Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365 LLC. This is a live Q&A. So this is not a class. This is not a pre-planned video with a pre-planned lesson. This live is all based off of your questions. If you guys don't post any questions, this becomes a very dull and boring live video. So make sure that you guys go ahead and post your questions. Everyone here can't be a veteran in Silhouette Studio. Everyone here is a veteran, to where you don't have any questions. You understand the program totally, completely, fully. You understand it. So with no questions, that's what you guys are telling me. That, hey, maybe you guys don't need my help as much. Okay, I would love to see more on how to remove the outer area of a picture. Okay, I do have this one that's here. It's just called a trace and detach. All right, so although this is, let's just copy this and just come over. Although this is a transparent background, if you click on it and you put a line color, you see a box. So it's not going to print and cut, or like cut around this as far as a contour. So you're going to do a trace and detach. You're going to go over to select trace area, place your box around it, and then you'll take your threshold up if need be. So like in here, it's not really picking up on all of the hair. So we're going to take our threshold up until it's picking up on those little hair pieces. Does everything need to be filled in? No, only the edges. Once they're filled in, you're just going to hit trace and detach. Once you do trace and detach, it's basically searching the edges of the image, and it's going to automatically crop or pull it away from the background. So now I can click on this, move it out of the way, and see, this is that box. All right, we're going to delete that. So now if I were to click on it or even add line color, it's contoured around her. Now, anywhere that wasn't the edge, there won't be any cut lines there. So if you notice, like in between her hair, there are no cut lines. If you were trying to get that detail with cutting that, it would probably be harder to cut, but you'll have to do some additional steps in order to get those parts to come out. Same thing with like in this part of her glasses, inside all of the letters, none of those are set to cut right now because trace and detach only searches the edges and crops the edges out. So to remove the insides, this is the method that I use. Select trace area. I'm going to place my box. I'm going to take my threshold up a little bit. I just want to make sure that there is yellow around the areas that I want to basically like remove. So I'm going to go up a little bit more. All right, cool beans. I'm going to hit trace. Then I'm going to click on that trace, fill it in with color. I'm going to right click and release compound path. Now, I'm quite familiar with doing this, but as a newbie, you're probably not, and this will probably freak you the heck out and scare you with all of these things here, but this is actually what you want. But if you don't remember where you're supposed to remove the areas, just take your transparency down so that you can see through it. Okay, at some point. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to take my transparency down some. And so if I hold down shift, shift allows you to select and deselect multiple areas. So I'm going to hold down shift and I'm going to click in all of these areas that technically I need to remove the inner part. Once I have them selected, I just hit, I'm going to actually do the ones over here also. I hit delete on my keyboard. That's going to take away everything. And let's undo because there was one right here. All right, that's going to take away all of the other sludge. And I'm left with just those open areas. I'm going to make a duplicate so you can see the difference. We're going to select. And then we're going to come over to modify and we're going to subtract. So it might look like nothing has changed, but if I double click, I have edit points all through here, inside of her hair, on the side of her face. So it will cut in that area. Here, it doesn't. What does this mean when you're doing it as a print and cut? Because that area is there. On screen, it looks transparent. If you were to put it on a background and just print it out, or put it online, if it becomes a Facebook banner or a profile picture, if you were to put it on an invitation, a chip bag, anything like that, it would, whatever background you have behind there, you would see it. But if you were doing it as a print cut, or let's say if you're doing this as sublimation, this would be fine. But if you're doing it as a print and cut, we're going to copy this and make this white, because normally you're going to put it on something that is white. You would end up seeing white in these areas because it's not going to cut. All right, so hopefully that helped you understand that a little bit more. If you want to get a full understanding of all of the tools and functions of Silhouette Studio, my Essentials to Silhouette Studio training, I taught it over the course of 30 days. I break all of this down. This is not necessarily about like how to design. Before you can design, it is best that you understand the tools and functions, how they work, why do they work the way they do, why do you have to do X to get Y to get Z. So the 30-day training breaks it down, like every tool and function. Um, so we go over like the features of and benefits of the upgrades. We get into the nitty gritty of everything starting on day 5 and 6, where we're going to go through like your subtract tool, your modify and crop, and compound paths. A lot of people don't, quite understand compound paths. It's not, I mean, that is kind of like the tip of the iceberg, what I teach in there. As you're doing designs, you'll see it, like you'll start to understand it more. The more you use it in different designs, you'll understand it better. But you can go through it and look at all of the different tools, and each day is a different tool so that you can take notes, not just watch it to watch it, but actually take notes where you can understand it. And it's going to help you when you're designing and you're setting up files. It's going to help you when you're trying to figure out, well, dang, why did this go wrong? So it helps you with troubleshooting. It is your ultimate reference guide to go back to. But when we get towards the end, we did do a little bit of designing so that you can then see all of those tools come together and how you can modify things. Some of them were not like actual like teaching moments. It was so that you can see it. And then the students there said that they liked that. They wanted to be able to see how to put it together. They were not in a position and knew the program where they could go and follow. They just wanted to kind of see the process. So you get to see that in the last couple of days. So if you are interested in fully learning the program, definitely check out the 30-day training. It is just $83.65. So the images, like that particular image, I actually just found the person on Etsy. Her name is HRA Seamless Pattern is the shop name on Etsy. So there is the link for that particular shop that has those images. Yeah, so she has some. I think she has a thing on there where you can make a special request for certain features, because I think that's how she ended up with some with like dreads and some with red hair. I saw one like just going through it, someone that had blonde hair. There was like an older lady, although only to me the only thing that made her look older was the fact they gave her gray hair, but her face still looked just like this. I was like, okay. But you can go on there and see if she can make you something. I don't think she really adjusts anything as far as like tones of the skin or like eyes and things. I think for the most part, it's really just the hair, but everything else looks pretty the same and standard on her shop. How can you remove the double cut lines on print and cuts? Um, I need to know like what did you do, because it really depends on how you trace it. If you just did a trace and detach, it's not a double line. A lot of people think that they have a double line once they go to trace, right? I mean, once they send it to cut. So I'm going to go to the send panel and we're going to zoom in. So you'll see this one. If you go cut edge, it just looks thicker, but it's not a double cut. When you're looking at this, a lot of people think that's going to cut on the outside and on the inside. That's not the case. This is just an indicator to let you know that cut edge was selected versus cut. So these two technically will cut the exact same way. It's just an indicator of is set to cut versus set to cut edge. That's it. So if that, I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to. If you have something that like when you do go to cut it, it's giving you a double line, then it's something with how you have the file set up. Either you traced it to where there's a double line, or maybe you did a duplicate and didn't realize it. Incredible evening. Hold on one second. I have no idea what I did with my phone. All righty, I'm back. So no, my switch up class will not teach how to do something like this. This is not the same image like the one from the switch up. Something like this, because it is a raster image. There's shadowing and all that stuff here. The switch up class would not help for something like this because you cannot isolate the parts. You cannot trace this to isolate the parts. Now, I could go and to where we could isolate, let's say, like the bow, because okay, right now, if I go to image effects, see, it's going to change everything. So if I wanted her headband, her glasses, and like the word blessed to be a different color, there is a way to isolate those so that her skin tone stays the same, but then those change. Or if you wanted to do something like, I don't think she has a wide variety of skin tones. So let's say you wanted to keep this, but you wanted her skin tone to be darker, you could still isolate it and then change your gamma to where, but it's also going to change her hair. Nothing you can really do about that. You can't really change the color of her hair because it's certain parts of it that's like pixelated on her forehead. So you wouldn't be able to change that, but you could make her a little bit darker. But her hair is going to be very dark. And like I said, if you isolated the bow, the glasses, and the word, they would stay their same tone, and you're just changing her skin tone. But yeah, you couldn't do this in the switch up. Okay, let's see. Do I do rhinestones? I'm not necessarily a rhinestone gal. Have I done some things with rhinestones? If I kind of have to, yes, but it's not something that I do on the regular. But yes, I have done rhinestones and I have done some lessons on rhinestones. There's actually a whole day dedicated to rhinestones, which is day 23. And I show you how to even break up a design to where you can mix the stones and do smaller stones and larger stones all in the same design. Yeah. So Silhouette Studio really isn't ideal. Like, I mean, you can do simple and basic things. It's not gonna really fill your stones in completely. If you are new to this channel, I'm not sure which one, I think you're on Silverholics Anonymous. I did a video a little while back where I was doing a design for a cheer team. And so I was showing some things on there to where sometimes you have to warp it and distort it and pull things out to get it to fit. Um, so you really have to manipulate Silhouette Studio. You have to manipulate your design. That's why it is so important to understand how the program works in general. No, I am not selling. This is not mine. I posted the link in the comment section. She is on Etsy. I do not sell it. That it's not my image. It is HRA Seamless Patterns on Etsy. It is not my image. Yeah, she's actually a lot of people are using that image. It's a very, very popular image. She actually has quite a bit of images, all different ways, where there's like what's it, Zodiac and some Christmas stuff. There is a kid one. And that's why I said the Granny one is the same face. It just made her hair darker and her eyebrows. They added gray. I was like, but it still looks like a young lady. But okay. Um, so different. There's a different type of bun. There's a different hairstyle. This one I was talking about Aquisha to where she does have this. I mean, it's not really, I don't know. I'm not gonna, I'm not trying to harp on anyone's stuff, but it's like it is a bit of a disconnect to me. It just seems like the way that the hair was on this one, which you can clearly tell that because you can still see the baby hairs back there, that she just took a spiral brush because she uses Procreate and just kind of create a bunch of spirals in different colors. But to me, there is a disconnect between the quality of, like, not the quality, like the style of the spirals compared to the rest of the image. So certain ones was a disconnect for me. Others may not notice that because, you guys are kind of newbie, or, and when it comes to designs, it's like, oh my God, that's just amazing. I really look beyond like just the it's pretty. But she does have some different, hairstyles and stuff like that on. I'm not knocking it. Some people will love them. It is okay for them. Everyone has different standards. So for me, I wouldn't necessarily purchase or use this image, but that's just my personal, like, how I like to see things. So she has a lot of different, so she has ones that's for like Libby cups. I do like the way the books and things are stacked here. So it's quite a bit of images on here. I first saw this one and someone had it. I think it's like Teacher Bay or something like that. Um, Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is a different company. This is Western Cute Cow. I do like this one though. I saw something. I think these elements are still in one of hers, but let's go. Let's see. Um, oh no, maybe that is her. Nope, that's somebody else's. No, it says all items. Okay, no, so that is hers. I know I wasn't crazy. Okay, yeah, this is hers. This is her whole page. So yeah, I'm like, I know I saw it on her page somewhere. And there's the one that you just saw. But yeah, so a lot of different stuff on here. There is one where it's not curly and it's just straight hairs, same eyes and stuff like that. So you can definitely check it out if you're wanting to purchase. And her prices are very reasonable. I have your fade bars. Do you have a video using them, or can you show how to use them to fade a picture into a cloud? So I do have several videos. There's a multitude of ways like you can use them. It really depends on what you're trying to do. You have to remember that when using them, they're not going to work if your background does not match the fade. They are not deleting a certain area. Your background has to match it, right? So let's say I'm going to bring in like a weird color. So let's just go merge. Oh crap. It's not going to come up. Hold on one second. Shoot. I'm on a different network because I was testing it. Let's see what happens when I switch back. I have to switch my MyCloud. All right, there we go. So now we're going to go fade bar. Okay, that is definitely not. Oh, no, it's not called Fade Mar. That's why it's called Fade Mask. I was like, why is nothing coming up? Okay, there we go. And I'm just gonna open up the one that has all of them. Oh, I merged it, so it's actually right there. Okay, so let's just take this one and this one. All right. And hold on, let's go file, open. Mm, since you mentioned clouds, I'm looking for a memorial setup. Okay, well, this was from our class, but let me just open this one and I'll kind of show you. Where you can't force it to like fade in. It's gonna look kind of weird. All right. So technically she's faded off. All right. So if I put Whitney here, if I were to use this fade, right? And we're gonna bring this to the front. You're gonna lose the clouds, like because it doesn't match that background. So it's gonna be like just a white blob there. Now, if you ended up adding like other clouds and adding other things to it, it could, um, soften that up, like that look a little bit. But technically, it's just going to be a white box there. It's not meant to fade it off like this. You can never fade the bottom off like this in Silhouette Studio. Um, so if we were to come here and let's say I wanted to fade off the bottom, right? If this was white or any other color, it's not going to look like it's faded. But if I made this brown, it looks as if it's this faded look because it's going into the same color. So it just depends on, like, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to use it, but I mean, you can't make it where it's cutting off the bottom of something. That makes sense. I have a printer question. All right. Have you pushed air yet? Did you prime it? When you purchase from us, did you purchase our pre-fill pre-prime or was it empty? If it was empty, did you prime it? If you did prime it, it's still not printing. Did you remove the vent plug? If you did remove the vent plug, have you pushed air? So there are certain things that you need to kind of check those boxes off to make sure that you have it in perfect working condition. And if you push air and ink comes out and it just doesn't print, your print head may be severely clogged and there's no getting it back. You may have, or you'll probably have to do like a lot of maintenance to it, getting a set of cartridge and doing getting like some cleaning solution, pushing it through there to clear up the clog or any dry ink that might be in that print head. But if you've done all of those, it's primed, the vent plug is removed, you've pushed air and it's still not printing, you either, I mean, if you want to take the time to go through and try and push cleaning solution, you can do that. It's still no guarantee it's going to work. It may be that head is just completely gone. Hi, Shakia. I just watched the tracing video. I learned so much. You are an amazing teacher. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge. I've been a Cricut user ever since 2009, new to Silhouette Cameo 4. Thank you so much, Yolanda, for that. I appreciate that feedback and that compliment. If you can't tell, I love what I do. So thank you so much for that. Glad that you are learning from my video content. I also have a Workforce 7210 for pigment printing. Even though it is a slower printing printer, can I convert it over to Sublimation, or can you recommend a printer that I can purchase to replace my 7710? Yes, I'm not sure why you said it's slower. It actually prints the exact same speed. The 7710, the 7720, the 7210, they're all the exact same printer. The 7210, the only difference is it doesn't have a scanner and like fax and all of that, but the specs on it, they print the exact same print speed, exact same print resolution, exact same sizes. So you can make that a sublimation printer. Any Epson printer can be made into a sublimation printer. If it is a cartridge-based printer, you just have to find the right cartridges. The 7210 uses the exact same cartridges as the 7710. And if it's an EcoTank, you just put the ink in it. I am partial to workforce printers. So for me, if someone asks me, there are a bunch of options. I've given you guys video breaking down all the options. But for me, I'm a workforce person. So the only thing I'm going to ever recommend is workforce. I like the workforce 7820, 7840. Changing out the chips doesn't bother me. I put that in as a cost of running business. Some people don't like changing out the chips, but when people are asking me, I pretty much recommend workforce 7820, 7840, and 7310. I planned on starting the 30-day class last week, ended up not having time. It is okay. It's November. You guys are only 3 days behind. I mean, you can binge watch and catch up and then watch it from like day 3 and like every day. Give yourself like an hour and a half to go through the lessons because there are 30 days in like November. So you can use this month to really go through the training and give yourself at least an hour a day to go through it, and you'll have it done by the end of the month, and you'll just have notes and stuff and then be able to go back and refer back to the videos. It's called a fade bar. I sell them on my website. So you can't, this is not something you can create in Silhouette Studio. I created them in Photoshop, but I sell them. It's a bunch of different colors, and you can use it to kind of create faded effects of color, like a mixture of colors. So like when I'm doing graduation stoles, so let's say, even this is not the template, if I wanted to mix colors without having to use the gradient tool, I could do that, whether I do multiple fades or I just do one and then do a solid color for the background. So let's say I'm going to copy this and then fill it in with, let's just say gray. All right. We're going to send that to the back. I'm going to go paste in front, hold down. Did it paste? Paste in front, hold down shift, click on my bar, and I'm going to crop. So it's going to look like it's faded right there. So if I were to copy, if I were to put Whitney there, bring to the front, it will look like she's in the faded part, but it's a PNG file that you have to bring into Silhouette, so you cannot create it in Silhouette Studio. Yes, I can tell you love what you do, and I seem to learn something new every time you teach. So thank you for that. You are very welcome. So this one, as far as what I teach and what you guys learn, it's all on you. This is a Q&A. So the more questions you guys ask, the more you guys learn. You don't ask any questions, it's going to be very mid. All right. No, we don't have a new class. I'm trying to catch up on all my courses. Thank you for having more than one on your dashboard. Great suggestion for taking the course. Thank you. You are very welcome. All right, y'all. It's quite a few of you guys watching between the platforms. So I guess that they are starting to the notifications are starting to go out a little bit here. It's so weird not having Silverholics Anonymous Facebook page. That's a lot of times where the majority of my audience comes from. And yeah, I'm not sure what happened. One of my other accounts got flagged and Silverholics Anonymous took a hit with it. So I don't have access to my business page at all. How do I line up to cut? It cuts wrong. Are you referring to print and cut? Are you doing a traditional print and cut on cardstock or like Jet Pro 3G or DTF? Are you doing like Easy Subli? Are you trying to do a print and cut to where you will cut the vinyl and you just want to print it out and then press it to glitter HTV? Need a little bit more information as far as what's not lining up. Okay. So Caesar color print. So you're doing eco solvent prints and they're not lining up. Is that correct? Is that what you're trying to figure out? You're doing eco solvent on Caesar color print easy and it's not lining up? I am just over wait. Am I just overthinking the fonts with the stitches in them? I want to make it, but I'm so overthinking things. I'm not sure what you mean. Fonts with stitches in them. What do you mean by that? Now, if you're just trying to create something with stitches, like, okay, so I'll take my logo here. Is this the one that's broken up? I mean, is this the, okay, that's this one. So if I wanted this font to have stitches, I'm going to ungroup it. I'm going to do an internal offset. Oh, wait, I can't see. Cancel. I'm doing on this. I'm going to internal offset and all right. So let's say it's right there on the edge, right? I'm going to hit apply. I'm going to go over to my line tool. I'm going to make that, let's just say 2. Oh, wait, maybe not. It's just small. So let's maybe 0.5. All right. I'm going to make it a dash line. Let's see which one. All right, so maybe that one, let's go 0.25. Nope. Okay, so yeah, 0.5 will work. All right, so let's just say it was like that. If you want to change the colors, you can. But you cannot, I mean, if it's just visual, you can just leave this as white or whatever color. If I wanted it to be like a darker version of the yellow and it basically becomes stitch lines. So you can leave it like that. If you are wanting to cut these out, then you would have to detach lines. So we're just gonna come over here, detach lines. And then, well, see, that's one thing I hate. This is a small one because it's only 0.78. You got to make it bigger first. So I'll show you the difference in how these are going to look. Let's go like this. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Let's do an internal offset. Apply. We're going to make this dash. See, and now there's like more dashes there. We're going to make this 0.5. Well, now that I made it bigger, let's make it 2. And I think I want to use the longer ones. Boom. All right. And we're going to go detach lines. And so they don't warp out like crazy like the other ones did. And then we're going to just bring this down to the same size as this one. And I technically have more stitch lines. See? So your size determines like a lot of things when it comes to designing. I go over that and I explain that in the 30-day training. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of talking, but it's a lot of teaching and training because, you know, I can just show you how to make the stitch lines. But if I don't, you know, if you were small, you're going to get lines that look like this. If you don't know that you have to make things bigger to get the results that you want, you're going to be going and thinking that you're doing something wrong. And it's not that. You just did not make it larger. So same letter. I just made it bigger, then did the outline, well, the offset, then did the line color and the dash. And now they're the same size. They look totally and completely different. All right. Thank you. I wasn't doing that. I was overthinking it. That is what I was doing, making them too small. Yeah. I can't tell who that is because it's not showing me names. Also, if you are posting in groups, I just realized I'm not seeing comments from groups. So if you are posting in a group, I do not see your comments. Okay. You're going to have to, oh, thank you, Damon. I thought I did though. I was a little down, Damon, because I lost access to my Facebook page. So I was a little down. But I thought I did because I shared it to a couple pages. Let me go on there right now and share it. But yeah, if you're posting, like I didn't see his. Luckily, I went to my notifications, but I can't see because of how I had to share it. I can't see your questions if you're posting a question in the group. You have to click on the video so that you can come to the actual live so that I can see your questions. Because right now I don't see any of them if you are like commenting on something that I shared to a group. Okay. All right, hold on. Oh wow, I don't even see those. Regina, I don't even see. I'm missing a lot of comments. I don't see any of your comments on StreamYard, Regina. I don't see not a one comment do I see. Oh, no, okay, wait, now I see it. Okay, never mind. That was you over there with the stitches. Okay, never mind. I didn't see the latest comment. Oh, there it is. Now it popped up over here. I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Let me go and all right. But yeah, so there's that. Let's see. The 30-day class will teach you so much. I can't believe how much I've learned, and I haven't even finished the class. Hold on one second. Hold on, I'm about to wrap up the live. I just purchased the 30-day course. I'm very excited to learn. I previously only used to print sublimation images. After watching the videos, I purchased Business Edition and the 4. Awesome. Hey. Thank you for joining the live. You just taught me something new with the stitches. Yay. Always like to teach something new. You're going to enjoy what you learn and can do after taking this class. All right. So let's go to for the person that asked about the easy subly. All right. We'll go back and just use this same image over here. All right. So let me grab this one. Okay. I don't know what your setup is like as far as like what mat you're using, which machine you're using, and all of that. I'm just gonna go over tips that I basically live by when it comes to printing cuts. First things first, your paper, like your vinyl, has to be cut to an exact size. All right. And whatever that size is, you have to make your design page that size so that when the printer picks it up, it's putting your registration marks in the correct area. For Caesar Easy Subly, you do not mirror at all. So make sure that you do not hit mirror in your prints. It's not going to register. Okay. So I'm going to set my machine to a Cameo, and I have a 12 by 24 inch mat. Color print can come in different sizes. So let's say it's a 15 inch piece. It really is actually only 14.75. If you have not measured it, make sure that you measure your vinyl and you get the exact width of that, because that's going to be very important, because that's going to determine where it puts your registration marks. If it's not a true 15 inch, it's going to affect, again, how it prints. So you want to measure that. Then you want to cut it into either like a 10 or 11 or whatever size you're going to do it to. If you're trying to do just like 13 by 19 piece and you're cutting that piece up, I mean, you're going to have to make sure that it is pretty much exact. I always tell people, if you want to kind of make like a cut into it versus trying to just measure it and cutting it on your self-healing mat, if you're going to do that, I do recommend having a self-healing mat, having a clear acrylic ruler, and having a rotary cutter to make sure that you get a good clean cut and it's like the perfect size or the exact size. Or you can have the machine cut it for you. Just throw your vinyl down there. You'll have a box, and then you will go ahead and have it cut all the way through your vinyl, and you know that you're going to have the perfect size. But that size has to be exact. So if I was doing this, and let's say I cut a 15 inch piece, like at 12 inches, it will be a 12 by, I'm going to put on here 14.75 because it's actually not a true 15. Okay. So that would be that size. And now you're going to go to your registration marks and you turn them on. Always take your thickness all the way up. Me personally, I don't take my length past 0.625. Some people have different preferences. I don't recommend that you go past 0.5, but most times I'm at 0.625 where I have mine maxed all the way out to make sure that the machine is going to pick it up, and I'm going to get like the best results when it comes to print and cuts. All right. And then you're going to put your image on here, right? Let's go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. If this image was right here, this is wrong. Why? Because part of my image is in the restrictive area. It doesn't matter if it's a tip. It will read, but it will somehow pick up this little piece that's way over yonder, and it's going to make it to where your cuts are off. Nothing can be in the restricted area of your print and cuts. So right around here, right in here, and on the bottom one. Now, in this area, it doesn't matter. All that means is the machine isn't going to cut it, but it can't be in your restrictive area. So if you have your design so big because you're trying to get as much as possible of that vinyl, and you have your design like within this area at the bottom, your cuts are going to be off. If you follow those, you should have no reason. You should have no issues with it reading and cutting as accurately as possible. The other issue is sometimes in how you trace it. If you're doing something that you have to trace, your traces are not going to always be ideal. You have to zoom in. I did see like one space on here. Sometimes you're going to get white, and it's not that the machine cut it off. It's just that it was in an area where you're just going to get a bunch of white. Where's that spot that I saw where it wasn't really contoured? Maybe it was on the other print. All right, so I want to do it. Let's do this, right? So I'm going to go copy. We're going to make this white and then paste in front. So sometimes, like, okay, like looking like right here, your eyes deceive you when you're looking at it on the program because it is a PNG. Once you print it onto vinyl, you're not printing to a transparent substrate. You're printing it to white vinyl. So where it cuts at, if it's the cut line is somewhere and it's like on the screen, it looks transparent. But like right here, when this cuts, you're going to see white. And then if you put this on a black shirt or a red shirt or whatever, you're going to see those white areas there. So hopefully that makes sense. So like, I'm going to pick that. I'm going to send it to the back. And I'm just going to take all of the line colors off. So you see, this is how it would end up looking on a colored shirt. You're going to see these white areas because you're printing it onto a white substrate. By itself, you're looking at the shirt, but it's not transparent. This is how it's going to look. So hopefully that clears that up and makes sense and kind of helps you understand that a little bit better, where it may not be that the cut is totally off. Now, again, I don't know. Maybe your cuts are like way, way off and not just a little bit. If they're way off, it might be something as far as like how you're loading the mat how you're loading material onto your mat, if you cut it to the right size, how you're putting it in your machine. I personally only use Cricut mats, and I do what I call calibrating them, because they don't line up. So if you are using a Cricut mat and you don't have that indicator of exactly where to put your material, 9 times out of 10, it's reading the registration marks in the wrong area and you're going to get miscuts. Yes, thank you so much. Y'all need to take all the classes you can. She gets deep into it. I have the 30-day, but I need to make myself do them all. Every class taught me something. Every class. I'm looking forward to learning. Man, y'all must have really been into me doing that because no one else asked questions. All right. Well, my ride is here to come get me. Because even had went home with the kids. So now my mother is here to come get me because I wanted to stay. I had some things I had to do. I had to add some things to cheer signs so I can take pictures of them when I get home. Yeah. What was I gonna say? If there are no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. Again, if you are wanting to learn Silhouette Studio and truly get like a true understanding of the tools and how they work, there's worksheets with it. I break it down. I'm teaching you basically like as they would teach in graphic design, not just teaching you, okay, here's how you do a chip bag. You're just going to put this here, you're going to crop. That's not going to help you when it's time for you to do your own images. When your trace isn't ideal, if you go to cut, I even show like some mistakes and what can happen. I'll give you guys a little tidbit of like how these lessons go, right? So let's say, all right, let's say, all right, well, hold on. Did I get it? Wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for, not crop, because crop is going to do the outside. All right. So if I were to do like here and here, and I subtract, right? You can see the outside. I mean, this isn't what, I mean, it's not a real design, but you can see that there's still parts of it left. Now, if I were to come down and there's that little small ghost piece and I go subtract, it's going to make the whole thing disappear because it was only like this little small piece in the back. And this freaks people out. So in the class, I explain why this happens like this. There will be times where you might do a trace, and on the trace, it's going to be like a little, I call it phantom shape. And then when you go to do like certain modified tools or certain modified things, it's going to make everything go away. So we break that down so that you can understand if something is to the front, if it's to the back, if it's a little phantom piece, what happens? Why do you lose it all? So it breaks all of that down. I know, right? I'm always in teacher mode, even when I gotta go. I can't help it. I told y'all that's my toxic trait. I don't know how to turn it off. My mom said, well, you need to turn it off and come on. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. All right, y'all. Hopefully this situation with my Silverholics Anonymous gets rectified, but if not, make sure that you guys are following me on my YouTube, both of them, because normally, even if I'm doing a demo of something, yes, I go live on my. What are you doing? I need a charger. That's not a charger for that. I don't have iPhone chargers in my office. I am not an iPhone user. Even if I am doing a demo and I only stream those on Honestly Speaking, I usually still stream them on Silverholics Anonymous. If I could, I actually would have changed Silverholics Anonymous to Shakia the Professor. So that is like my general page, but it won't let me change the name. So if I'm doing something like that, you won't get to really see it because it'll really only be on YouTube. And then Silverholics Anonymous YouTube is for anything silhouette related. So today I am streaming to both YouTube channels because I wanted to let you guys know, make sure that you follow me on both platforms. Click that link that says helpful links. It's my link tree. That way you can find all of the YouTube channels and you can subscribe to all of them, because I don't know when I'm going to have access to Silverholics Anonymous on Facebook again. So make sure that you guys follow me and subscribe on both YouTube channels. If you haven't done so already, send a friend request to Shakia Lavelle. I am going to send out an email to everyone on my email list. Go to my website and make sure that you get on the email list so that you are in the know, because an email will go out tomorrow that Silverholics Anonymous' Facebook page is disabled temporarily. Hopefully it's temporary. And where you guys can find me at. All right. Thank you so much, D. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. Don't forget to visit the website shop.hsink365.com for your honestly speaking sublimation ink and paper. Remember, our sublimation paper allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. No type of cover sheet is required, whether that's butcher paper or parchment paper, or if you like to use cardstock or regular copy paper, craft paper. Our paper does not blow out of the back, so you don't have to worry about that part, ruining your heat press platen. And also our inks are 140 milliliters. There aren't many places where you're going to find that. So you definitely get more bang for your buck. Even the Epson inks for their EcoTank printers are only 70 milliliters. So you get more bang for your buck when you go with Honestly Speaking. So shop.hsink365.com. All orders before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time go out the exact same day. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.